Hey guys, what's going on? It's your favorite host, Queen G. Guess what? We are doing another segment, and we have a special guest out of Long Beach, California, hip hop artist. His name is Yungg Fattz. He out there doing his thing. He's traveling. He's doing his hip hop thing and making things happen and pop. And he's going to tell us more about his career and more about what he's working on, including this big car show that's coming up that he's going to tell us about too later on. So y'all hang tight. Let's welcome Mr. Yungg Fattz to the show. What's going on?
What's going on with you? What's going on with you?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm getting ready to get on a flight and head to Atlanta, so I can't complain. All work.
Okay. When I met up with you, you were in between like trips. You were in Houston,
Yeah.
and we had both mutually met up with Zarilla Bacon, our mutual friend that we have, and
Yeah.
man, that was cracking. That was cracking.
Yeah. That event was popping, like super popping. And the thing is, we left and came back. And when we came back, it was like a whole nother scene. Like when me and you was there, it was like
Right,
it was all right. It was like a bar setting,
right.
a lounge setting. We come back, sit there for about 45 minutes. It looked like a Hollywood or Atlanta club. Everything. Next thing you know, it was like 500 people in there. Quick, like
Wow.
quick, like all of a sudden, like the whole vibe. And my boy Harold James is already saying like it's about to go down in here, and I'm like, well, I ain't never been here, but we'll see. Soon as he
Right.
said that, soon
It
as he
turned
said
up.
that, yeah, that's it, it went up. So yeah, it was
I
dope
saw
though.
the I saw the type of element that was in there that was starting to come in. So I
Yeah,
should have known something because it was
it was,
starting to turn
yeah,
into the
it was.
weaves and the
Yeah,
you
it
know
was
what I'm saying?
definitely it was definitely starting to turn into something. But my homegirl said that it would have been popping even more, but the swim thick pool party was in Houston that night too. So
Oh, okay.
so that
They had another
yeah,
event popping, so it was a conflict of interest a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, that pool party was super cracking. I saw the videos of that. So I can't even complain. I should have went to that though. For real.
Man, man. Well, it was really great meeting you. Your vibe was dope. Your
Yes,
energy was dope.
thank you.
And I know that you're on like this tour and you're doing your music thing. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a promotion tour with my boys Harold James and Dre Lane, which is featured artist on my song "Grown Man Business." So one day we made the song, and I think like 4 months later we've been on this tour, a promotional tour, and "Grown Man Business" has hit 1 million streams. So we just going
Wow.
everywhere. Yeah, we going everywhere we can to perform. And I hear that they trying to close down the country. So I'm really trying to get all the
Get
performances I
it.
can while
Yeah.
because 2020 it was driving me crazy. I couldn't get on stage, and I'm not really into virtual performances because it's not a real performance. I mean, it's a
Right.
performance, but all that is you rehearsing and doing it on video instead of
Right.
being in the crowd, feeling the fans, feeling the crowd. You know what I mean, mingling with people. That's the thing I missed about doing performance, or to hear the crowd screaming and to see
Right.
the excitement
That
on.
live
Yeah,
interaction and stuff like
yeah,
that.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
you can't hear fans singing songs back when you doing it like this. You know what I'm saying? And that feeds the artist and pumps them up a lot more. Just like NFL players. Or
Right.
any professional athlete. You can play the game and no one's there, right? But it's a dull feeling. It's like okay, we gonna win this game. So last year the NFL really wasn't popping. But then
Right.
this year they got full crowds of people, and now even the athletes are more hyped up about it. You know what I mean? They're excited to play. So that's that's
You
pretty
trying to get it. You trying to get it while you can get it. That's what you
yeah
basically saying.
yeah before they set us down. You know what I mean? And I'm not
Right.
taking that shot. So they can go ahead and do what they do. I also hear that if you don't have the shot, like you can't perform or go to certain places. But you
I was
know,
gonna ask you, how has COVID changed, you know what I mean, your promotional
I mean
situation as an artist?
everything is online anyway. So when you are distributing your music and you're publishing your music, that most likely is online. So really, it's the same thing. It was the only thing it really took from me was going to make appearances and performing. That was the only thing it took from me. But other than that, it kind of gave me the opportunity because we was locked in the house anyway. So
Anyway,
it just gave me
right.
the opportunity to just promote the music and do the office job of it. And then
Right.
I just had to wait. We had to wait
So
until they
you
were
said
ready.
you hit 1 million streams.
Yeah.
How does one do that? How does one hit a
Um.
million streams? Like, tell me some
I
of the
guess
tactics that you
I guess
use.
you gotta know your demographic and like when we did the song, we was at the studio and I told the guys then I was like, I don't know, man. I said this song might change our life, but we've been
Right.
doing our own individual careers, you know what I'm saying? And then when we got together, we did this grown man business song. It was like it was something different, more different than any other song I did. And then ever since that, I think we released it May 1st.
Of this year?
Yeah. So from
Of
May
this year?
1st
Okay.
to now, it's starting to
Mm-hmm.
pop off. It's like 60,000, over 60,000 on other streams or other platforms. But I think you have to know your demographic and you have to share it with the right groups and put it on the right playlist. And people
And
start,
people share it, right?
yeah,
People
like
trying to
people
help push
like this is
your music for you.
the first song that I got over 200,000 streams. So I think it was the element of the different the different style of artist that's on there. Because Dre Lane is a singer, he's an R&B singer, so he does his thing. And
Uh-huh.
and Harold James, you know what I mean? He's a rapper, but he's from Lake Charles, um, Louisiana. So it was a
Mm.
different feel.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I
okay.
mean? You have me from Long Beach, H from St. Charles or Lake Charles, and Dre's from Long Beach, but he's also moved around a lot of different places. So it's a lot of different. I,
Dynamics of different
yeah,
things.
yeah. So
Right.
the song ended up coming out real good, which we started a clothing line off of, and we were doing grown man business lady nights at an event at one point, or at a venue at one point, and it's just a lot of stuff came out of that.
Right. Wow. Amazing. 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 What I know you're on a promo tour right now.
Yeah.
What are some of your goals after this? I know that y'all hitting it pretty hard right at this present time. But what do you plan on doing after this?
A personal tour. I mean, a personal goal for me is to get that Grammy. Work hard for that because I already got a Spotify award. So we doing good on that, and maybe I'll get one this year. But my grandmother, before she passed away, she said, "Go give me that Grammy." And
Oh wow.
I'm like, "You think I can do that?" And she was like, "Yeah." She said, "But the problem is, you don't think you can do it." And I'm like, "Whoa," because she's real deep into blues. So she was like, "You want to? Everybody want to be a rapper. Who want to hear Yungg Fattz rap?" So I was
Well,
like,
that's put a lot of pressure on you, right? I
"Yeah."
mean, that's a lot of pressure from grandma.
I turned her into a hip hop fan because one day she called me and she was screaming, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she was like, "You don't hear that?" And then she turns down her radio, and someone in the other car is playing one of my singles. And she was like, "That's your music, right?" I said, "Yeah." She was like, "And you don't even know this person?" I said, "I don't." And she was like, "Oh." So then she started to see that, oh, you can do this. You know what I mean? But see,
And it's also different than what it used to be. Now it's more digitized.
yeah,
They have different platforms that you can spin the music on, and you still
yeah,
get counted for the numbers and things like
yeah.
that. So,
Nowadays, you
um,
don't even need to be on radio.
right,
Nowadays, you don't even need to do that if you, especially if your streams is going. But see, I don't have a record label or management doing any of that shit for
mm,
me. I'm doing everything on my own with the help of Harold James and Dre Lane and my boy Black. Um, Other than that, you know what I'm saying? I go through different platforms. Either it's United Masters or DistroKid to distribute the music. I own my own publishing company. Well, I co-own my publishing company, Vision Made, with my boy Black. And as far as performances goes, I have people that I'm linked with that always offer certain events and stuff like that. So
how important is it to be independent like that with your own? How important is that?
um, it's very important. I'm not even gonna play because most record labels say what's hot and what's not, but you can't tell me subjectively that what my thought process is and my artistry that can't be hot. So you can't tell an individual what's hot and what's not. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't deal with that, or you don't like that music. For instance, look at Blueface. Everybody has something to say about Blueface delivery, and once people got used to him, then then nobody talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody have their own swagger and their own style and their own way of getting into the business. Look at
It's
Takashi
more
6 9.
about It's more about what's trending, honestly.
Yeah,
What's trending and what's hot.
yeah,
That's the next wave, and then the next wave comes in after that, and then the next
yeah,
wave comes. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
kind of got to catch the wave. I mean, is that how it works?
yeah. Because look at mumble rap. Mumble rap has taken an exit, and there's something else coming. And I think for what 3 or 4 years, mumble rap was moving strong. But nowadays, people don't even really care about the lyrics, long as the
Right.
beat is smacking and the chorus is good. Then they gonna listen to it, and then it might be a year or two before they even catch the stuff that you're saying lyrically in the song. They might just be
Right.
playing it because they like the beat or they like the chorus.
Right. 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 So I will say that I'm very proud of you for hitting 1 million streams. I think that that's very phenomenal.
Thank you.
and it's not easy. It's not easy. You know what I mean? So for
No.
you to have hit that mark, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. You killing it. You killing it independently,
Yes,
especially
ma'am. Yes,
because
ma'am.
independent is even tougher. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And see,
And a lot of people don't know.
the only thing a record label can do is be a partner because
Right.
I'm already doing it. I'm already doing everything on my own. So all they can do is be a partner. And with me saying that, that means I would use their platform, and I would have, um, and they would give me their emailing list, the email list, with because they have these special people that you send your music to, and they're gonna push it.
Hmm. Right.
Once radio stations really get involved, then you gotta have a budget for that to pay them to play your music and everything. But nowadays, radio isn't really supporting artists like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? You got to jump through so many hoops and do so many things to
To
get
get
on
spins.
radio. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but the thing is, if people is listening to the music, that means that you really don't need the radio stations because they're gonna go stream it anyway.
Right.
So you know what I mean. And each stream is calculated, almost like
Right.
radio play. So if you say okay, even with a million streams, people radio stations isn't gonna mess with you. It's just now you're recognized on their radar. Oh, okay, we know who this dude is. We know who Yungg Fattz is. Like Grown Man Business was trending, was one of the top trending songs for like 2 months.
Wow.
You
Let
know what
me
I mean?
ask you this. Do you get paid off of your downloads?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you get now with Destro Kid, you get a certain percentage and they get a certain percentage. But with United Masters, you if you're on a song with somebody, you do your splits and they automatically separate that and then give it to you
Oh,
and
that's
take it
great.
that
So
way.
they do all the calculation and
Yeah,
separating for you.
yeah. So
And
quarterly, yeah. So quarterly, you get paid, which is I'm thinking every 4 months or 3 months. So I'm getting ready. I got the She's Gassing video coming up, and then we're gonna do the Grown Man Business video. The Grown Man Business video is going to segue into the Grown Man Business um, documentary, and the documentary is going to segue into the Grown Man Business movie, which
so you got some stuff lined up that you getting ready to
yeah, 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 for real, for real.
handle.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what's up.
I also own my own music festival called Bars Fest, and I do
Okay.
that. I do that every year, but I was gonna do one this year, but they're already talking about closing the
Everything
country
going.
down. So I don't want to get everything prepared, and then they tell me you got to cancel the show because everybody has to be in the house. So I
Tell me
don't know.
about that. Can you tell me about that festival though? Tell me what it is and why what type of festival is it that you do once a
So
year usually?
so Bars Fest started. I was I was asking people to book me on certain shows, and they wouldn't. And I don't see myself paying $500, paying $900 for a 7 minute slot, and then you pay that money and go to the show and ain't no one there.
Right.
So they're just having you pay that much money so that they can pay for the headliner. So I kind
Mm-hmm.
of got tired of that whole scenario. So what I did was I started doing events on holidays, and more people was coming. So I was like, oh, okay. And Bars Fest, it just kind of it just kind of appeared. Um, I put a name to it, and then I started doing it like every summer. When then it
Okay.
turned into the the summer jam for the idol artists and independent artists. So it's always sold out. I pay all my artists, whether it's the opener or the headliner,
Mhm.
and you know I'm the only person I know that does that, which is pay the artist. Now, if you don't have a fan base, you have to pay me $100, but you're not paying me $100 to perform. You're paying me $100 for your
To
ticket.
promote. To
Yeah,
promote.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I pull up my own tickets. You know what I
I
mean?
know what you mean.
I don't go through any of the middlemen to sell tickets. I give you $200 of your own tickets. You keep 100% of your ticket. The only way I need a percentage is if you come and then you leave early.
That's a great that's a great business tactic to use show wise. I've always been a showrunner myself, so
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're describing. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? I know
yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. And it's such a great tactic to use. Everybody gets taken care of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No
And see,
one's
you're not
left out
gonna
of the
you're not gonna
equation.
bring your fan base to one of my events and then leave after you perform,
Right,
because you have to sign your release to leave.
right.
You know what I mean? So if you leave
Mm-hmm.
early, that means that I need 50% of your ticket sales, because it's not fair to the other artists that put in the work, and then you come in and then you just leave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then maybe you have a lot of people with you, so then you take all those people with you. It's not fair to the other artists. So what I do is I make it easy. You make however much money you make off your ticket sales, whether you
Mm-hmm.
give your tickets away or whether you sell your tickets, that's on you. But
Right.
when you come to the event, you don't want to be on stage and then you see a mass group of people leave, or before you get on stage you see a mass group of people leave to go party and all that. So don't no artist want to give up 50% of their ticket sales, so they
It's a
stop.
fly in my face.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
I have one
fly.
right here too.
I'm like, what in the world? I'm trying to be cute, right? But it's just like,
She said, "Oh goodness."
this show is this show is very real. So we have like
The reality is
a
real.
no sugar coated version of nothing. You hear me?
Yeah.
I was like, man, it was just bothering me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So anyway, back to what you were saying. Wow.
And see, Bars Fest is always sold out too. And at first, I was just doing one day, and then
Hmm.
as it got bigger, then I started figuring things out. So I was like, let me do a 3-day event. So let's say Thursday we do a listening party at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Right.
Friday we do, let's say, a adult pool party at a water park, and then have all the black owned um, food trucks, come out to the parking lot, and that's where you get your food. Although it's kind of like stepping on the fun park's toes as far as the food thing goes. And then that Saturday you have Bars Fest, and that way you have it would be what you call a Bars Fest weekend.
Right.
So Sunday, the people that came in town can ride around, go sightseeing. If you ain't never been, wherever location we're at, because I do it in Colorado, I do it in California, I do it in Vegas, I do it everywhere that
Oh,
people want.
you changed different cities with the
Yeah,
festival?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that it's just not in one place. So it's been real cool. Um, it's gotten me more notoriety than my own music. So
Right.
but it also helped me build a fan base because of all the people that comes to the show. On top of that, it also kind of have a artist brotherhood. Some artists
Right.
has never been on stage, and I've put them on stage before on their first paying gig. And once you do that, and then people see you perform, then your fan base grows.
Right. Oh yeah, opportunities period because it's not a lot of people out here
Yeah,
presenting opportunities for artists. It's
yeah,
hard for independent artists, even
yes,
from when I was out there doing shows. I
yeah,
was just interviewing this guy named Alonzo Williams, who I call the godfather of hip hop.
yeah,
He's legendary and he's been out here for a long time. And we were just talking about that, how, like it's not easy. Platforms are not easy for artists and things like that. And it's you know what I mean? It's tough. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And it almost forces you to do other things because music is only the front gate to the house of success.
Right.
So once you open that front gate, it's like, okay, now what can I do to get in this house?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? It's always a hustle, it's always something that you thinking how you could be better. Think about it. I
What do
contact
you
you this
think
morning.
what do you think about product like t-shirts and hats and
Yeah, I got
things
a
like that?
we got a grown man business apparel, and we got a store, an online store called Grown Business Apparel, where you can get all the logo, all the merchandise and everything. I also got the Yungg Fattz gear, jackets, hats, and t-shirts and all that you can get. Um, a lot of the stuff, a lot of my stuff, I bring so I can sell at the shows, or I just get a box of t-shirts, pull up, and I throw them in the crowd because
Right.
fans love free stuff.
Right. That's
I got
true.
I got car fresheners and stickers and all that, and that stuff is gonna be real good for the car show in Stone Mountain. So I'll be throwing
Right.
that stuff off the
Tell
stage
us
too.
about that. Talk to us about that, the car show that's coming up.
Yeah, I did a radio interview with Yale Entertainment, and he was telling us about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, that sounds dope. But I've never really done a major car show.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, man, he said, man, he said, if y'all can come out here, you get on the show. I said, really? I said, put us down then.
That's
So
simple. That's
yeah, that's that.
simple.
Yeah, I'm like, we coming. Like I've been on a flight twice every month since the summer started. Like I just came back from California, opening up for Jail Felony, Silky Fine, and Second to None.
Right.
So to be in the building with those West Coast legends, I had to show out. You know what I mean? And I did that August
Right.
19th. We was in Atlanta the week before that, and then after that show, well, that's when I met you in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this week I get on another flight to Atlanta to do the show in Stone Mountain, and then it's like Alabama,
You got some
supposedly.
other stuff coming up.
Yeah, I got a bunch of other stuff, but a lot of the shows, especially on the West Coast, was canceled because of the COVID scare. Like it's starting to get bad again. I
Right.
just think I just think it's propaganda. It was population control. It got out of hand, and now they're scrambling on how to fix it. But I'll say it again: until people are getting a shot that's helping them, I'm not gonna take it. Ain't
Right.
nobody know what that stuff is. So,
My,
but
I was just I posted on my story this morning. They made my daughter, who is 10 years of age, due to a tummy ache at school, and she's around that age, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
Um, Due to a tummy ache, they made her stay out and take a COVID test in order to return.
they're about to shut the schools down too. And see, the thing is, a lot of the people that's getting sick is kids being
Right.
on campus, mingling with other kids that either parents had it or they got it from somewhere else, which is infesting other kids. The kids go home, then them
Yep.
kids are infesting the household, and then there's a second round of a pandemic,
A whole nother
a
round of it.
whole nother round. So I don't know enough about the shot to allow them to shoot me. I mean, I took a COVID test. It felt like that thing was rubbing in the back of my eye. I was like, whoa,
Yeah, my daughter cried. She cried today when I had to do the swab. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because it goes really deep off in your nostril, and
That's
it's
what I
like,
told the nurse, because she was like, your nostrils are swelling up. Maybe you are sick. And I was like, no one is sticking objects up my face.
that far deep in your
Yeah,
nostril.
I
Yeah,
was like, you're
no
low
one.
key finger banging my nose, and then you're saying there's nothing that goes up there.
No,
I
my
mean,
daughter
that is,
cried today. She cried
I wanted
when
to.
she took the when we did the swab on her. She cried. It's just ridiculous. It's really, I don't know. And I know it's all for safety reasons. I'll do what
Yeah,
I have to do, and we'll do what we have to do in order to make sure that, we're safe in
yeah.
this household. But golly, it's when I tell you, I just think it's disrespectful. I think
Look,
it's
they turned
disrespectful.
COVID-19 into a whole business.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now you got now you got masks that's being made by fashion companies, and you got your Gucci and your Louis Vuitton and your Prada this
Brand.
mask, the
Yeah,
Chanel
exactly.
mask. The thing about Americans though, they'll turn anything into a
Into a
lucrative
business.
business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now they got
Especially with so many people being off work. It's like, you know what I
what can you
mean?
do?
What can we do at this
Yeah,
point? You gotta come up with a different hustle in order
being put
to.
being put in the house or being put on lockdown definitely allow people to get in tune with their arts and crafts side, because my goddaughter was making masks and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's dope. And I said, you can make money off of that. She said, really?
Right.
Then she started selling her masks. Next thing you know, everyone is doing it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know
People definitely have gotten creative, and I remember when it first happened, I was like, oh my God, really?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I have 4 kids at home.
yeah.
You feel me? Every day
Oh man.
in front of a computer, and they're frustrated, and it was just crazy. It was just crazy on lockdown.
And
That's
then
not
kids going to school online, and their parents is getting on them because they're like, well, why aren't your grades right? It's like, I'm at home. I'm not
right.
sitting in the class where I'm forced to look at this teacher and listen. Like, I'm at home.
Hmm.
Everything that I like to play with or mess with is right in front of me.
They made one of my daughters. She had to take a COVID test too for a cold or something, and the results didn't come back in time, so they forced her to stay out the whole 10 days. You feel me? So, and
Yeah.
it's kids getting behind now. They're getting behind
Yeah.
with those long periods of time being
And then you
out.
ain't got
You know
2
what I'm saying?
weeks to not be in school or be at work. That's why when I'm out, you know, I mean, right now I'm at my house, so I don't have to wear the mask. But where you see me, I had a mask on. Any
Right.
shows I go to, I have a mask on, and then I bring my own microphones because
So you
it's
won't have to
never,
touch.
yeah, you never know what people are doing with their mouth 2 or 3 minutes before they even touch the microphone. I just seen some of these rappers do some nasty things to females backstage, and then they go get on the microphone. Most rappers put their mouth on the microphone. So
Mm-hmm.
when I started seeing that, I was like, nah, I'm about to start taking my own microphone. You know what I
Right.
mean? So can't nobody, because they say, you know, Yungg Fattz, you got 5 minutes before you get on stage. All right, so you getting yourself prepared and all that, but they're not spraying the microphone down on stage either, because somebody else is on the microphone pumping the crowd up and introducing you. So that's another way people are getting sick.
And that's too close of contact.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's
and
too
think about
close.
this: if okay, you're doing a show, right? And you got the MC that's talking to the crowd, and you got the DJ that's talking to the crowd, right? Then you have an opener. Let's say you have 4 openers. If you perform at 11 o'clock, at 12 o'clock, that means you got 10 to 12 people before you with their mouth all over the microphone.
On that mic.
And you up there doing your thing, you're not even paying attention. You know what I mean? Like, I hate for the microphone to touch my face anywhere. Like, it
Right.
freaks me out, which is the reason why I bring my own microphone. I got 2 sets of microphones.
Now, do the showrunners give you a hard time about bringing your own mic? Do they try
No,
to?
no, because most of
Okay.
them are surprised, and most of them enjoy it. As long as your equipment goes with their equipment, there's no problem.
Right.
But don't. But as artists, that's the quickest way for us to get sick. 9 times out of 10, if you're doing a showcase, and there's a backstage, you're not even out there mingling with the fans. You're backstage. So
Right.
you don't even get that. But nowadays, you can't even. There was an all white party in Denver, and
Mm-hmm.
in order for you to go to this event, you had to have a COVID test or a COVID card saying that you you
Took
took
the test.
the
And got the,
shots. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's like, okay, so if you didn't, so if you didn't go through the test, I mean, you can't go. So now, certain events, people don't want to get that swab stuck up their nose. So
Right.
what they're doing is figuring out how to get fake cards because don't nobody want to go and deal with them putting that long ass swab all the way up
All the
your
way
nasal passage. When I
in
got
your
it,
brain.
it felt like it was rubbing the back of my eye.
Right.
And I had to get it because I had to go to the dentist. And as artists, that's one thing we got to take care of is make sure that our mouth is healthy, our jaws is
Right.
healthy, so that we can perform. And I almost didn't take the test because I was like, wait, so I got to let this lady shove this thing up my face in order for you to clean my teeth? Like, I wouldn't even get an operation. It was just order for me to
Golly.
receive it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't nothing major. It was just like in order
Do
for
they
you to
get the
sit
results right there? Like when they do the swab, they swab you, they do the results right away, or
3 days. It took 3 days. So
oh, in
it,
order for you to get the dental work, you can't get the dental work for 3 days
yeah,
until the COVID test
until you get
results
the
come back.
results. Yeah, until you get the results. So
Wow.
like COVID has definitely changed the way of life for a lot of people. For a lot of people. So I mean, I'll be happy when it's over and no one is afraid to go to a major event. Uh,
Right.
I heard movie theaters was allowing you to rent out a, a room to watch a movie for $100. So it's like now you got to pay extra money to allow a group of people to come do something with you.
To do a private event, yeah.
Yeah.
To
So
be by
everything's private now.
yourself. Yeah.
You know,
Wow, that's crazy.
I miss going to Summer Jam. I miss going to the Lowrider Super Show. Uh,
Right.
the marijuana events and all that stuff. Like some of them started, and then 3 months later, it died down. There's a lot of people in Las Vegas that's getting sick. I had a show October 6th for a music
Mm-hmm.
festival in Vegas, and it was canceled because they wanted to go virtual because so many people was getting sick in Las Vegas. Las Vegas was one of the first places that was open, but they were allowing people to come from all over the world like they always been.
Right. I used to live
And
in Vegas. I
yeah,
lived in Vegas for some years, so I know it's like a melting pot, and it's the place where everybody come to.
when
You
that
know what I
thing
mean? To
when it
get
first hit,
entertainment.
it looked like Armageddon. Nobody was in the streets of Las Vegas. Now I've
Right.
never ever seen that. Even when it snowed out there, there's still people walking around. So
Mm-hmm.
so this whole scenario, it just got everybody like
Paranoid.
paranoid, yeah. And then you got
Yeah.
the Olympics that had 4,000 cases. You got all these people coming from all these different countries. They come compete and then they leave and go back to their respectful homes, but they've been exposed.
Right. They just had that big Raiders game. What you think about that? All them people packed off in that stadium. that was
Man,
uh
I
that
know,
was a lot of people. That was a lot of people.
I know, because I'm a Charger fan, and I
Right.
know in SoFi Stadium, you can't even get in the parking lot without a mask, let alone in the stadium. And in the NFL, you got certain stadiums that you got to show that you had your shot.
Right.
Other stadiums, you got to have a mask. So it's just the region and location how bad it is there. But in Vegas, you know that's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
It was like eighty five
a lot
thousand
of
people.
people. Oh yeah, it was a lot of people in that thing. That
But
stadium was packed down.
people people are tired of being stuck in the house though.
Yeah.
So most people are
They
like, I
needed
don't
that.
care.
They needed that moment to get out and have that
Yeah,
sports.
because some people go out dancing and they go out and dance their problems away, and then they go home and then they reset and prepare to take care of what they got to take care of. But if you are locked down in the house, you know what I mean. I'm sure it's a lot of pregnant people now, pregnant women, because of being locked in the house. But then you have a baby, the dad can't be in the hospital because of the COVID scare. So, you know, people having funerals and you can only have 6 people at the funeral. So
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's
it's
gotten
turned
it's
into a whole
real bad.
ordeal, and it's affected everything, not just music. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people out there that's homeless because they can't go to work or the job closed. The
Right.
job
All
discontinued.
together. The job closed up altogether.
Yeah. And so you got all these people without a job. COVID has pretty much put a lot of people in the poorhouse because their careers are out the door now.
Right. Yeah.
So
It's crazy. It's real out here. It's
yeah,
real out
yeah.
here.
Because
This ain't
look at the
no
event we was at. Look at all the people we was in there with. Everybody had a mask on.
everybody.
You know what I mean?
Everybody.
So
And we just I mean, and it's good for safety purposes. We had just met for the first time. You don't
yeah,
want to assume that
yeah,
somebody is good and they, you know what I mean, they ain't got COVID. You don't want to assume that. You got to be prepared either way. Like,
yeah.
and I hate to say it, but it's fact. You know what I mean?
And then you gotta think about the people that you live with.
Yep.
I go do a show and I have my mask on and I might have pulled it down to take a drink or something. And as I'm walking, someone coughs or sneezes, and now that's in the air. You walk right past it, inhale it, don't know it,
All in it. Yeah.
and
That's
then next thing
crazy.
you know. But
Whew.
here's something even crazier. They tell you 6 feet, right? But they pack people on these airlines shoulder to shoulder.
Right there next to each other.
Shoulder to shoulder.
They ain't did no separation on no airplanes.
At
They ain't
first,
did no
at first, I was catching flights, and it was 4 people, 5 people on Southwest Airline, right?
right.
When we came home from Houston, it was a full flight. So you got this stranger sitting in between me and Harold James. I not only do I have my mask on, but I got my face to the mirror or to the window because I'm like, man, this dude is right next to me. Although there's a stranger sitting in front of you and there's a stranger sitting
Right.
behind you. So you're surrounded
There's
and
no escape. There's
for
no
real,
escape from it
for
at
real. And
all.
then they give you water and drinks. There's no tops on there. They just pour it in a little cup. Here you go. And then it's like, this isn't
And we
safe.
right here like this.
Yeah, sitting like this. And see, I'm
Yep.
chunky. I'm chunky, so that means I'm a little wider than normal. So that means that
Right.
people sit
Right.
next to
Right.
me. Like on the way to Houston, I fall asleep. I wake up to a whole stranger leaned on my shoulder, sleep, drooling on my shirt and stuff. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Right. You
Get
don't know
off
what
of
they
me.
got or what they, you know what I mean?
I
What
immediately took
their
that
air, you
shirt off.
don't know what their air is. Their air
I
is
immediately
completely
took that
different.
shirt off. And when they came by to, to get your trash, I threw my shirt in the trash. I'm like, nah, man, I don't know who this dude is. And he's
Yeah.
slobbering all over my shoulder and all that. I'm like, I got it. I got it already. but you know,
Basically.
but you
Basically,
know,
because that's how quick it's spreading. It's
yeah.
spreading that quick with,
Now they're
you know what
trying
I
to
mean? The
say
quickness.
kids from 2 years old and older have to wear masks. Let me see someone put a mask on a kid. You might as well put a muzzle on a puppy.
On a dog, right?
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
going it's going it's going to fight the whole scenario. Like, so it's
We would do, listen, this would take a whole nother hour to talk about what they trying to do, right?
yeah,
With us.
yeah,
It would take a whole show, a whole
yeah,
nother show to talk about that. Because they trying to get to a certain point with us. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But we ain't gonna talk about that on this particular segment. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But anyway, so So what you're getting ready to do a car show soon. Tell us about that real quick as we get
Okay,
ready to close out the show.
the car show is the end of the summer car show, and that's in Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Okay.
So Stone Mountain Mall, and from what I've seen, it's going to be sold out. It's a lot of people coming. Um, a lot of great artists going to be performing. I got a lot of people coming from all the regions around Atlanta and like the Carolinas and Louisiana and Texas and all that. So I'm looking forward to it. When I get off here, I'm about to head to the studio so I can rehearse, so I can be the best me for them I can be. But Yale Entertainment is throwing it. It's an annual car show, and it's a major car show. So shout out to Yale for getting us out on that, and I just look forward to doing it. Um, Maybe the COVID scare will kind of simmer down, and then I can do more performances. Right now, uh, it's looking skeptical.
It's
Of all
rough.
the,
It's rough. You
yeah,
I would keep pushing them streams
yeah.
and them you know what I mean? Them
That's
radio
all. You see,
spins.
that's all you can do nowadays. Um,
Yeah.
and for artists, performing is how we make our money, especially for the artists that's getting paid to perform. Now, the
Right.
ones that's not getting paid to perform, they they're definitely in a uncomfortable situation because all the stuff that I do, right, for the music business, and I still have a night job. I have to have a night job because of COVID. So
Right.
I can't just like depend on my royalty checks and my performance checks.
Only. Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And see all the things that I'm doing to get income. You know what I mean? A lot of those scenarios have been cut out. So
Right.
to any other artist that's out there, you better stay on the stage up until the second they say, y'all, we locking down.
We can't do it no more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I
It's
mean?
over.
And that's the reason why I was
Hmm.
pushing the issue so hard. Because it's like, okay, 2020 we was locked down, we couldn't perform. So now I I'm just doing show after show after show after show until they tell us that we can't.
Right.
And then I'll feel like I've done my my job. Before this, I was doing somewhere between 60 and 100 shows a year.
Whew.
So
Mm, mm, mm,
four
mm.
4 days of performing. Some of those shows I was performing there and the after party.
Right.
So registering that with ASCAP, that's another way to get paid as an artist. So that's the reason why I was stay on stage, stay on stage, stay on stage. Plus, that's my happy place. You know what I mean? That's where I'm most happy is to be on stage and do all that. So, it's
I just love the fact that you gave us this knowledge today. I hope that a lot of different independent artists watch this show because you
yeah,
really have been informative on, how to register your music. You've been talking about all that today, and
yeah,
it's just been amazing and powerful.
yeah,
Thank you so much for that because it's a lot of different people that watch, my shows. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Um, and I just wish you the best out here
yeah,
during COVID. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. Thank you.
It's a different type of animal. We all dealing with it in some way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had to go witness my 10-year-old get a swab up her nose today, and
Yeah,
it for a tummy ache. It had nothing to do with, you know what I mean, a
yeah.
cold or sneezing or coughing or none of that.
Everything
So
You can have a bump on your face and they're gonna say it's COVID.
It's COVID.
You know what I mean?
So
Got a headache.
it's a different time. I'm asking God to give us all patience and help us,
Yeah.
through this time, because it's not easy.
No.
Um, and it takes a lot of patience, you know what I mean, to deal with all of this, because we all ain't never had this kind of stuff in our entire lives
No.
happen to us.
This
You know what
is
I mean?
worse
And I'm
than AIDS.
47. I'm
Yeah.
47. So,
Yeah. But think
you
about it. It's
know,
worse than AIDS. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't catch that airborne. Airborne.
no, right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I say this. People may say something's wrong with me or whatever, but this is definitely a made man virus or a
Oh,
made
yeah.
uh virus or a made well how do I say it? A man-made
Man-made,
virus.
man-made
Yeah, man-made virus because
situation. Mm-hmm.
I've been sitting at a train waiting for the train to go by and it has COVID-19 on the train. Now I remember seeing that when I was 14 and 15. So the government knew they did
That
something.
they were going to put this out there. Yeah,
They did something. You know
long
what I mean?
time ago.
And we all are. I just had to bury one of my close friends because of COVID. You know what I mean? And so and HJ did too. So you know what I mean? Anywhere I go, a mask up. How you doing? I'm
Washing your hands.
washing my
Yep,
hands. You know what I
yep.
mean? And for a lot of people that have animals or dogs, you got to give them a bath every day because they outside and that stuff is landing
They
on
could
them.
possibly get it on them and bring it in the house. Yeah,
And a
yeah.
lot
We
of
don't
people
know.
got dogs that sleep comes in the house. They sleep in the house. Where do they sleep? In the bed with you. You may not even be in your room. You may be somewhere else in the house, and the dog is laying on your pillow. You come in, you lay down, put your head on your pillow, and boom.
Right.
So you gotta wash your dogs just as much as you gotta wash your hands. And I
Mm-hmm.
have an ESA, so I have to wash my dog every day because she goes everywhere with me.
Right.
So it's definitely a dangerous situation. Hello.
It's serious. It's serious. So, I just want to say, Young Fats, you are amazing,
Thank you.
and I am grateful that you blessed our platform with your presence. I know you're busy,
Yes, ma'am.
and it was great meeting you in Houston. I'm glad I got to meet you in person.
Yes, yes, yes.
Look, and we survived. We didn't have no COVID after meeting, so that was good.
Yeah, yeah,
Look, we good after
yeah, for real.
after meeting up in person. So, uh, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want you to have a wonderful and an amazing day. And when you get a chance to go back and put the information for your shows, write it inside the comments. So
Okay,
you can go back into the show and write it in. You know what I mean? If
okay,
you want to promote that way as well, feel free to do that
okay.
later on. Somebody said, RIP to your COVID-19. Oh, they saying, okay. They're saying, rest in peace to your COVID-19 person that you lost. I lost my grandmother to
I Hey,
COVID-19.
look, I lost my grandmother, but not to COVID. She passed away, and COVID hit, and I had to be quarantined in her house. And when your grandparents or someone dies, you turn off the TV or the internet and all that. All I had was the radio, and I was quarantined for a month. And LAPD had them little drones talking about go in your house. This is not a test. Get in your house. It scared the hell out of me because I'm sitting there
Right.
and I'm being quarantined in the house my grandmother just died in and sleeping in the same bed that she passed away in. So that was
Creepy.
different. Yeah, it was different. You know what I'm saying?
Different energy. Yeah. You
Yeah.
wasn't
So
you wasn't trying to.
Yeah,
have that type of energy.
yeah. I was trying to grieve as it was, and I couldn't handle being in that house. So but I got through it. But COVID, that's just what it is. You just gotta deal with it how you deal with it
Right,
until
right,
we are
right.
all free.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Yungg Fattz. You are dope. And let's keep in touch too. If you have any updates and you want to bring it on this platform, just hit me up. Let me know.
Okay.
Um, you know what I'm saying? And when y'all reach another milestone, hit me. You know what I'm
Yes, I
saying? I'm
will.
here for you. I'm here for
Okay.
you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a
Have a
good
good
day.
one.
All
Talk
right.
to you later.
Bye bye.
That was Yungg Fattz, y'all. Artist, hip hop artist. You see, he's out there doing his thing. Million streams plus. So he's making some waves out here in the industry. Also, we had a discussion about COVID, as you can see on this particular episode. It's bothering a lot of people. It's hitting home in more ways than one. Taking our loved ones out of here. It's just not fun. It's not a fun phase to be in at this time. So anyway, guys, keep watching. This is your girl, your favorite host, Queen G of Queen G Live Experience. I'm going to be bringing more topics to you. I just confirmed H-Town. I'll be letting you know when H-Town will be on the show, amongst other amazing guests that will be coming up soon. So keep watching, guys, and stay tuned. All right, this is your girl, Queen G of Queen G Live Experience. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.